最近这个高考2分作文止战之殇在国内引起大家非常多的讨论，但是我很好奇西方文学视角会对此文作何感想，于是我花500块请了个国外专业书评人，我将为他深情朗诵，并让他对此文做出评价，希望你准备好了。 Let's go.
So yeah, Michael, tell me about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Michael James, published author, professional writing coach, and editor. I've been doing this for 7 years. Some of the milestones I've had in the last few years are obviously publishing 3 books is really big. But then I helped one woman publish her book, and she went on to receive 10 awards for her book, and then she had a TEDx talk.
Wow, that's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I did 2 different celebrity memoirs. Neither of them are out yet, but they're both coming out this year. So I'll be able to share them with people by the end of the year.
Wow.
But
okay.
So yeah, those are some of the accolades that I've been able to reach. But
that's already something. Well, I feel honored having someone like you to review my work, and honestly, this is exactly what I wanted, like a video consultation, so I could see your live reaction and stuff. And yeah, I was surprised you're the only one to provide this kind of service, like video vis-a-vis consultation.
There's a lot of it's funny because I've talked to quite a few people about this actually recently. There's not a lot of ghostwriters like to hide behind the screen. They don't like talking to people. I don't know what it is, but I'm a charismatic person, so I'm happy to have calls with people. So.
You are, yeah, and you do look good. And look, you have a really good camera. Like, what are you using? A phone? Like
this is just my laptop, but
okay.
Yeah. I would use a nice webcam, but hopefully this will do.
No, it's good. It's good. Also, I have a really good camera too. I just bought a new phone and I recycled my old one, so that's why it's really clear. 这个换脸性我机器人好用多了，就在 iPhone 15 Pro Max 方专职卖了4500多呢，它的价格真挺公道的，比我问过的回收店给的都高。除了手机，之前我的平板、笔记本、奢侈品包也都是在转转上卖的，特别是我们这种小卖闲置、有些麻烦的人。总之听我的，有闲置要回收，我推荐转转。Now, a couple of things I do want you to know before we get to the article. This article is written from the POV of a high schooler, and granted, I actually did write this as a high schooler, but now that I grew up, I decided to come back to it and give it a retouch, hopefully, convey the message a bit better, so that's the gist. Okay, so I did send you the article, but notice it is upside down though. I want you to know that it wasn't accidental, it was actually intentional. I'm trying to be a bit different.
No, that's cool.
Okay, yeah, I want the reader to at least put in a little bit of effort to even get to the article, just to,
Oh, I love that.
I'm glad you dig the idea, but yeah. You flipped it?
Yep.
Okay, let's get to it. Red King had 3 hours before descending upon Earth. Media outlets across the world were spreading the news wildly. Whether his arrival would bring salvation or destruction, I could not know. Amid the panic and chaos, all I really wanted was a burger. The universe is boundless, and human life is insignificant. I came from nothing and shall return to emptiness. The only thing I could never let go of was the school's burger. It wasn't big, the bun was dry, but when it first happened 3 years ago, I was young. I took a quick bite, and wow, this is delicious. Sadly, as time passed, I was having lunch later and later. The dream of having it again, yet forced apart by a crowd stretching as far as the eye can see, remained only a dream. I waited again and again. Yet dreams never return unchanged. I do not know when it began, but the meat patty of the burger turned into processed beef. Sure, it gained a trace of human touch and lost the pre-packaged feel, but the rough texture combined with the same dry bun, it made me lose my former passion for it. Perhaps it could no longer even be called a burger anymore. Recently, the food truck outside the school gate also started selling burgers. They used the same ingredients as the school's version, though somehow the flavor felt more familiar and bun equally dry. One morning, parched and starving after an exam, I bought one. I got even thirstier. But in this vast universe, who could truly decide the fate of the school's burger? Everything in this world must have its destiny. I do not believe in Buddha. I believe only in God. Perhaps that omniscient and omnipotent Lord will someday cast the benevolent burger back upon this earth, whether while I still live or after I die. Red King descended upon the harbor of Victoria. There were no negotiations. Amid smoke and roaring artillery, the world lost its color. I arrived because I had to. As a youth of the new era, bearing the great mission of history and revival, if I would not save the world, who would? Yet the moment I stood beneath Red King's feet, I realized just how small I truly was. He was even larger than the Statue of Liberty. Though I had never been to America, I've seen videos of it. Red King halted his march of destruction, lowered his head to look at me, and gestured for me to hand him what I carried. I was too scared to reject and trembled uncontrollably. Turned out, he wanted the burger in my hands as well. It seemed that no matter how superior a life form might be, none could resist the temptation of a burger. A bullet ripped through my chest. As death approached, the final words reaching my ears said that I was colluding with this monster. So this is humanity, Red King. I think I finally started to understand you now. But at this very instant, I'm still just craving a burger. That's it.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
I think, okay, I'll tell you my initial thoughts as you started reading, and then my thoughts as you continue. My initial thoughts when you started reading, I was like, especially with that first line of Red King had 3 hours before descending upon the earth. I was like, oh, interesting. It almost sounds kind of sci-fi-ish. Who is this Red King? And everybody's talking about it, but then you brought it so intimately home to because we don't even know that it's a first person point of view at first. We just hear this kind of like these prose about the kind of setting the stage, right? And then we get salvation or destruction. I could not know, so it's like, oh, this is first person POV. But then it almost caused me to laugh because it was like, amongst the panic and chaos, all I want is a burger. And I was like, hey, wait, but, and I was like, okay. I was like, wait, what the heck? And it really caught me off guard at first, but there's something as we progress through it, there's something kind of true and beautiful about that, because it kind of captures the human experience. We are so fickle. We are so fickle as humans, and we that is reality. There could be something so insane going on around us, and yet we could be craving something as simplistic as a burger. And then I will say the punchline caught me really off guard. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Like with Red King wanting the burger too, I was like, wait, is that the ending that we want?
I mean, sure. I could see how that could raise an eyebrow of someone's,
But before that, I was totally on board with everything. I was like, there's such an irony, this juxtaposition of something insanely serious happening, the fickleness of man. I just want a burger.
Exactly.
So I liked that there's this irony of the two. So those are some of my initial thoughts.
Bro, I love how you didn't just focus on the surface like my teacher did. You actually dug down and tried to look for inner message. And I would say you grazed down exactly what I was shooting for. But the high school teacher who marked my paper actually gave this incredibly low score because she thought it was... Yeah, she thought it was nonsense, but little does she know there's so many symbolisms. For instance, the burger really stands for freedom that I was pursuing at the time.
Something I do love about this is how jarring and unique it is, because AI would never be able to write something like this. This is so human.
That's true.
It is so real, and I love that. And I think that something that people do not realize about writing, even in the school system. The school system has this completely wrong. They want to teach you how to write structurally and organized and to have clarity. And yes, those are all important things, but style is more important than anything else. Read any Nobel Prize book ever. Why did those books win prizes? It's because the style was so incredible. So your style and how jarring you are, I think, makes it stick out in a good way.
Wow.
I enjoyed that this was very stylistically weird. That's awesome. And I hope that you write other stuff like that. Because because even on the on the outside, it's like, what the heck? Why are we talking about a burger here? But it's so meaningful. You have such symbolism in there. So it's
exactly.
It's beautiful.
Exactly. I'm so glad someone got it. And yes, I will try to write more if I can.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really liked it.
Bro, I wish you were my teacher. You really do know literature.